Portland's Breakwater Fort is the most imposing of the structures built to defend what was the world's largest man-made harbour.
Even today, it's still the biggest in Europe and the second biggest man-made harbour in the world. I still can't get over that. They managed to dig down and build. Hang on a second. He said they laid the stone from the ground up. It had to be sturdy bits of stone, and they were doing that in the 1800s. Don't you think that's incredible?
The breakwater itself was built with millions of tons of Portland stone and used the back-breaking labour of thousands of prison convicts to defend the ships of the world's greatest navy.
I really liked the footage that this person is using in their video, and obviously we explain what we know, but you can see there that basically the prisoners on Portland itself were used to make this citadel and whatever it is, Breakwater Fort, if that's the truth. And you know, when you're actually going round the boat with the boat, it just looks so old. It looks older than the 1800s. But I like what he says, and at least he gives you some information. And in some of the pictures you can see the guns dumped there. They just left the guns there on the rocks. Isn't that incredible? But it's the prisoners supposedly that made these, you know, they were used as the labour force to make this, and they managed to go well down in the ground.
The Breakwater Fort is the largest of several forts built at the outer edge of Portland Harbour and is the most imposing, with iron armour 20 inches thick, and it took 25 years to build. 30 men would have been stationed on the fort at any one time, sheltered by the bomb-proof iron roof and armed with 38-ton guns which were fed with ammunition stored deep inside the fort. It's 1.5 miles from Portland Harbour out to the Breakwater Fort, which was built when Britain's military might was at its height in the 19th century. The fort itself was built between 1868 and 1875 to defend the Portland Harbour. It is located on the outer breakwater of the harbour and has been Grade 2 listed since 1978. Today the fort is not open to the public and remains derelict. The fort was designed by Captain E.H. Stewart of the Royal Engineers. The circular fort was first planned in 1859. It was built as a result of the Royal Commission to guard the new Portland Harbour and the Royal Navy institutions on the island. Due to subsidence, the fort was constructed on a granite base some 200 foot or 61 metres in diameter, which was laid down on the seabed. The main floor consists of gun rooms and ports for 14 heavy guns. Below the gun floor are the shell and cartridge stores and engine rooms. The fort also has its own harbour and ancillary barrack block. The cost of building the fort back in the 1860s and 1870s was £75,968. In 1892 the fort was installed with 7 12.5-inch cannons, and these were replaced in 1907 by 2 6-inch guns and 2 12-pounder guns. During World War I it was armed with 2 6-inch Mark 7 guns. During World War II the fort was used as an examination battery. It was reduced to care and maintenance by 1945 and abandoned in 1956. In 1995, the Dorset Sculpture Trust attempted to gain a grant from the Millennium Fund to turn the site into an arts centre. Today, the site is completely abandoned and is deteriorating significantly. However, it's an interesting site to visit, and if you get a chance to visit it on one of the boat trips from Weymouth or Portland at any time.
You know, we have other places that are a bit like this. That one's Alcatraz, the prison, and very strange that they use prisoners to make the other one. But, you know, okay, it probably is just an island, but we've had other places built out in the sea. This one's Japan. I think it's Japan, isn't it? Yeah. Obviously it's abandoned, but look at the shape of it. You know, that was quite man-made, wasn't it? Look at that. Looks a bit Star 40 shaped, doesn't it? And when did they make, even if they built some of the flats and things afterwards, when did they build the actual rim of it? And then we've had Venice, and we know that they are man-made islands. Well, so they tell us. That one looks pretty man-made. That one's in, obviously, and that one's Ellis Island. And that one. Plum Island. We've got that one with the star fort on it, and there's the other one, Ellis Island. Some of them are in China. I mean, that might be a real island, but these are man-made islands. Another one, China. Another one, China. Not good, that one. Fisher Island. Look at that one. Maybe that's an island. Maybe that one's an island. Maybe that one isn't. Maybe that one's been built. Maybe that one's been built. Well, that's an island. Who knows? Some of them might be islands, but and this is Russia. They got one of those as well. Amazing is that? Yeah, they've got one as well. And it was built in 1845, and it stopped being used in 1917. Wow. Anyway, I just thought that was interesting. Oh yes, and this one's Russia. Is that a man-made island again? But anyway, we're going to watch the next bit of video now, because all that kind of reminds me of the next bit. So let's watch the next bit. So it's the largest port and all those other things I've talked about, and this is an amazing place. It was quite shocking when I saw how amazing it is. Look at it. With this thing, I actually feel that the bottom part of it is older than the top part, if you know what I mean. Like they've restructured it, that it was already. Anyway, we're just going through a few pictures of it. What an amazing place. I've never even heard of it before. But you can probably see why they don't want us to know anything about it. Not really. When you think of how it's been made and it's still there. And I just think that those are older. That it's just older. Anyway, it led me on to Secret Vault. The Secret Vault, I like him. But you see there? Over here? This is it going out into this. Well, maybe that. Yeah, that's part of this. But anyway, we're going to look at a little bit of Secret Vault's footage to see what he's seeing just across from this. What an amazing piece of island it is. Well, little bit, whatever it is. It's amazing.
Look, Portland Bunkers UK Limited. Now that sounds mysterious, isn't it? Portland Bunkers. Well, turns out that this company, are in fact a place that you can store your petrol and diesel and other refinables. Here we are, just going down looking for some of the other buildings that may be adjacent with the 1860s. 1600, what the hell am I? 1860s. Here we are, looking at some of these interesting features, which I believe you are allowed to walk along, but I think because the military have been on this island for a long time, and only recently has it become more commercialized, battlements and evidence of forts have remained so untouched, and it's great that you can actually sort of still see these things in their glory. All of the island, I believe, is now listed and can't be touched. Interesting little features. One is obviously going into the hill, and one is just a pathway through. So, as you can see, the amazing abilities of the drone. Not necessarily the pilot. The drone is definitely doing the work here. You know, you can actually see stuff, and I'm probably going to turn the sensitivity up so you can see more. There we go. I knew I was going to do that.
So, what an amazing place this is. And some of it looks older than other bits maybe, you know. Look at that. I mean, that's quite... Do you know how did they do it hundreds and hundreds of years ago? You can't slap this stuff up. You have to be very precise. And, you know, half the time they're building in hills and things. You can't just... Hey, I just fancy putting a big palace up there. I've never built before. But anyway, thank you very much, Secret of Art, and everybody's little bits of videos that I've used. I just wanted to explain this place because, come on. That place is an amazing